Cool. Okay, so welcome to our new Coach Power Hour. I thought this might be beneficial, just walking you through this tracker, what the things mean, what you actually need to do for them, just so you can kind of set yourself up for success moving forward in, okay, I've got an hour today, I'm going to do these activities, just like knowing what to do when you work, if that makes sense. If you've got questions as I go through, just put them in the chat and I will answer them. This is a godsend. When I first started, this wasn't a thing, so I just had to like guess what I needed to do today. So the fact that this is here is beautiful. I use it every day, print it out every week. And it's just that really great, like when you're kind of feeling scattered, you're sitting down like, oh, I got all these things to do. It's like, all right, just work from this list because this list is proven to work. And just going through this, kind of checking off the boxes day by day to see your business grow. And so this takes me, I don't know, like half an hour. It really depends on your goals and kind of where you want your business to go. Right now, obviously, a lot of us have more time than usual. So I'm committing to like 2-3 power hours a day just because I have that time, right? When I was working, there was like one, maybe 1.5, and that was done. But it is what it is, right? And obviously the effort I was putting in were the results I was seeing. So it's totally up to you. Something I do recommend is I am not somebody with a morning routine. I don't really have a morning routine of like affirmations and goals and that kind of thing. If you do, that's amazing. I find my mindset's really great in the morning, but in the afternoon is when I dive into this. It's just like a book. I write down a couple affirmations, each to their own. I just talk about how I'm a 5-star elite coach. We're a 5-star elite team, like just my goals. And then right down at the bottom, I just have a section that says vision and a section that says goals. And this has really helped me focus during my work session. Like some days I'm like sending invites and I'm like, oh, I don't want to send the invites. But then I've written down that vision, I've written down those goals, and I'm like, okay, this is why I'm doing these behaviors. And it helps me show up with more energy, more passion, more fire. And so vision is long-term. I'm thinking like long-term goals for myself. What do you want your life to look like in 5-10 years? Like, what do you imagine for yourself? And dream big. Write those things down. For me, I want a cabin at the lake more than anything in this entire world. And so that's what I write down every single day because that motivates me. In the goals section, I'm writing down like short-term goals. Like, what am I looking for this month in terms of Success Club, new coaches? What do I want to accomplish in my own fitness? That kind of thing. And just like is a really good reminder of what you're showing up for, what you're pushing for, that kind of thing. And so I'll always start a work session with that. Like I said, that's taken me 4 years to figure out. So don't feel like every work session is going to be the same, or that if you have a crummy work session that you can't fix it, right? It's always that idea of pivot, try something new, pivot, try something new, and kind of reassessing like, all right, I liked that, I didn't like that, moving on. And so, okay, I'm going to go through this really quickly. I don't think we'll have time to work as we do this. I was thinking about that, but I'm like, I like to blab and I want to make sure I get through this. And then maybe we can host a subsequent one where we actually work and do the things. But anyways, at the top of the tracker, this can be found in the files section of our team page too. If you go Team Wildheart Files, you can find it in there. If you also just Google like Success Club system tracker into Google, it'll pop up too. And you can print it out. It starts on a Thursday because Beachbody weeks go Thursday to Wednesday. And so every Thursday when you log in, you'll see your volume reset, you'll see your new paycheck updated, that kind of thing. It's just always been on a Thursday. And so that's when this tracker starts, just to follow in line with the Beachbody weeks. Number one, be proof the products work. Your workout, your Shakeology. I always say that your journey is the most important, because if you're not filling your own cup, you have nothing to pour into other people. And if at the end of the day, all you did was your workout, your Shakeology, and personal development, you won. You won the day because you took care of yourself. And that's what this is about, and why I think this is so underrated, is like, this is my job to take care of myself. I caught myself today in a trap of like, oh my gosh, my workout took way too long and now I'm behind in my day, and like, oh my gosh. And I was like, no, like, this is my job, is to work out. And honestly, why a lot of us have stayed so accountable is like, we gave ourselves that ultimatum, like, okay, you have to work out for your business and for yourself. Taking care of yourself is huge. So I feel like I don't need to explain much more than that. The second section, connect invite, and follow up. So the first block within that is initiate connections and add followers. And so when I'm checking off this box, I'm going through my Instagram stories, my Instagram feed, and just connecting with the people that are already there. It's kind of like that idea of a dinner party, right? You've got everybody at your house for a dinner party. Instagram's your house, your followers are the people there. You need to entertain them and be social with them, right? If we're always out looking for new people to invite to the party, well, the people that are already at the party are going to leave, right? So initiating connections with people on your social media and leaving genuine connections. Like, again, this goes back to finding your people. I could spend hours doing this because I love the people on my feed. They've got cats, they've got good recipes, they do interior design, like they're my people. So this is the best part of my day, is connecting with them and asking them questions like, where'd you get that chair? Can I have that recipe? Just engaging with them and building that natural relationship with them. And then the second part of that is adding followers. And so as a new coach, you will mostly be inviting from your warm market. And as we always say, you have two markets, like a warm market and a cold market. So your warm market's going to be people that are already in your life, your friends, your family, siblings, co-workers, people you went to high school with, like just the people that you know in real life, I'm going to say. And then your cold market is going to be people that you don't know, right? And the warm market is great when you're a new coach, and that's what you're going to take from. But if you take without filling up the cold market, eventually you're going to run out of people. And so making sure that you're going out and connecting with new people on Instagram. Like I said, you can look up location tags, you can look up other pages that you like. I have quite a few interior design pages that I love, and I'll go through who's liking, commenting on their posts. And I'm like, okay, this girl seems really cool. I'm going to connect with her. I'll like drop some love on her posts, and then I'll follow her because I like her stuff. And whether she follows me back or not, doesn't matter. It's up to her. The ball's in her court. She can see what I'm about and then decide from there. But just building those relationships based on things that you're interested in. And like I said, curating that feed so that it's so easy for you to have those conversations because the people that are on your feed are just like you. Does that make sense? And so if you're struggling to find people, just pay attention to what you're interested in. If you have a funny meme page that you love, or like I said, a design page, or you follow a food blogger, like pay attention to who's liking their stuff, because we're trying to attract some version of ourselves to this opportunity, right? I can help Olivia 2 years ago who was really struggling with binge eating because I know what it's like to be there. I can't really help a mom with 2 kids who's struggling with time management because I don't know what that's like. So you're just trying to attract some version of you. So say maybe Katie, you're looking up U of S locations, people who are going to school, you know what I mean? Or Dion, you're looking up brides or people who are going to get married, newlyweds, that kind of thing. Those are going to be your people, and it'll be easy to have those conversations. And so just adding those followers, and everything in this business is kind of like a cycle. I like to think of it as that when we add those followers, that's kind of the top of the cycle. And then we're going to add them. We're going to build that relationship. It's going to build organically because we love what they're interested in. We've got common interests. And then that kind of moves around to, okay, we're comfortable. We're going to send them that invite. Once you send them that invite, whether it takes 10 invites or 1 invite, they might join our challenge group. And then that kind of closes the wheel. And so that we have to start that process by adding new people to your network. And it feels weird at first. I won't lie. As a new coach, you're like, what am I doing? Like, this feels so weird. But mindset really is everything about it. And when you think of it in a way of like, I'm just trying to find more incredible people to connect with, putting that connection, that relationship first over like, I'm going to find people to sell to, right? Like 2 totally different perspectives. Mindset really is everything in that one. Okay, next up, it's doing a social media post. So posting on social media, this one can be scary also as a new coach. And so don't overwhelm yourself with the idea of like, oh my gosh, there's 7 days in a week and I have to post 7 days this week. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? Just start once. Start with 1 post, get it out there, and sweet. Now you posted 1 time, you can cross it off the tracker. And then be like, all right, I'm going to post again in 2 days. Psych yourself up, find a photo, figure out what you want to post for a caption and post it, right? I have an album in our team page of my very first post as a coach. So if you're ever like, I don't know what to post about, and like everybody I follow just has their shit together, like just go look at that album and you'll literally laugh, because my posts are so bad. They're so bad, but like we all start somewhere, right? And social media was not what it was now. Like I was taking pictures of like my yogurt at work while I was working. I'm like, what was I doing? But we all start somewhere, right? I had to start. And we grow and evolve, and that's the beauty of it. But you'll never get that chance to grow if you don't start. So doing a social media post, again, things that you're interested in, things that are going on in your life. Share a sweaty selfie from your workout. Share a cute selfie that you took the other weekend. Not that we've all gone anywhere in the past while, but the last time you got dressed up, take a photo. Post a cute photo of yourself. Maybe sharing a photo of your family and saying how you're missing them right now, or sharing a photo of you and telling your story. Even if you are like, I'm right out of things to post, something from your personal development, something that you learned that is like a surefire post every single day. And then I always encourage you as a new coach to kind of keep your blinders on, because there's so much out there that you just want to kind of sit and consume and scroll and get ideas and get inspiration. And that's beautiful, but pick 1 or 2 or 3 people that really vibe with you and kind of the business you want to run, and go off of them, and then keep your blinders on from there, because it's easy to get caught up in that trap of like, oh, she's doing this and she's doing this and she's doing this, and I want to do that, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then you spend 3 hours collecting inspiration, but you've not done any work, right? Because it's not, we love collecting that inspiration, but it's that action, that putting it into effort, that trial, that error, that failing forward, that's going to help you build your business, versus scrolling other coaches, right? And I still get caught in that trap. It's so easy. But really just trying to keep your blinders on, not worrying about everybody else, and just kind of staying in your lane, doing what feels good for you. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I love that. Reintroduce yourself when you have some new followers. There's like a super fun one too. It's like 10 random facts about me, or 4 random facts about me, just like sharing random stuff about yourself, again, in an effort to connect with people. That was a good one, Katie. Okay, so that is your social media post. Like I said, start small. Start right now, start tomorrow, make a post. And then maybe 2 days from now, you're gonna make another post. And eventually you will be up to whatever it is, 6-7 days a week, no problem. A big thing for that is taking photos. You will become an expert photo taker as a coach. I am taking photos of everything all the time, because I'm like, oh, I might need this, but it comes with time. The next one is updating your stories. So just sharing your life, sharing when you did your workout clips if you want to. I find Hyperlapse is a great app for recording my workouts, because I don't like doing them at regular speed. I feel like then I just critique myself, whereas if I can like speed them up, then I'm like, oh, okay, sweet, it looks like I'm punching faster and I'm doing a good job. I don't know, it's a mental thing. Hyperlapse is a good app for that. Sharing your life, what you're doing, not just Beachbody, because Beachbody is what we do, but it's not who we are, right? So sharing, you'll see me sharing about, yesterday I shared, I'm propagating some plants, and I share about Dave all the time, and our house projects, and recipes that I'm cooking. Like those are my things, and so that's what I want to share about. If it's for you, maybe it's your family or your wedding or school or your job, like whatever makes you tick, share about that. And like I said, start with 1, start with 2. Dion's been posting a little bit, and it's like it gets more comfortable as you do it. So just start with a little bit and push yourself to kind of get out of your comfort zone, and eventually you'll be doing it no problem. Responding to all new likes, comments, or views. The time brackets beside these also are just suggestions. If you've done it, don't feel like you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to do it again. Like just suggestions. I don't even really look at the times. Just like do it, cross it off, move on. Responding to all new likes, comments, or views. So if you go into your Instagram stories, you can swipe up and see who is watching your stories. Those are great people to engage with, because they're already watching your stuff. They're already interested in what you're doing. So like I said, like entertaining those people that are already at the dinner party. People who are liking your stuff, going through, watching their stories, commenting on their stuff. And then comments on your photo are really big. If somebody leaves a comment on your photo, I want you to reply, and reply with more than just an emoji. Because if you reply, that boosts your post back up into Instagram's feed. They're like, oh, sweet, people are liking her stuff. I'm going to put it out there again. And the more people that are commenting and engaging with your post, the more traction it'll get. And kind of that idea of making Instagram work for you. Like, you're putting that content out there. Now let Instagram do some of the work. And so if you're going to reply to that comment, it shows that you're building community. It shows that you are putting out good content. And so I always make sure, even if some days I don't get to it for like 2 days, I'll go back and make sure I've left a comment replied to everybody that's left a comment on my post. Then the beautiful one, the one we all love to do the most, inviting people to join a challenge group or learn about coaching. Working from a list as a new coach is really helpful. Like I said, you've got that warm market. So even after this call, if you need, make a list of people who are in your life who would support you in this new venture, your parents, your siblings, friends, like I said, coworkers, things like that. Honestly, for me, those were the hardest people to get involved. Like, I could get a random involved in 3 minutes, but to get one of my good friends involved took me forever. I don't know, it was just how it was for some people. Their warm market is very, very receptive to that, and that's how it is, but you won't know unless you try. And so making a list of people that you can talk to, that you can invite to join in with what you're doing. Like I said, this isn't, I love to look at it as like, I'm not your coach and you're my challenger or my coach. Like, we're in this together. I've got shitty days. I stab myself with a knife, put reaching to the dishwasher. Like, we're not perfect. We're human. And I want to do this together, right? So that when I'm having a bad day, I can lean on you. You can lean on me. I never want this to feel like I'm on a soapbox. Even sometimes I feel like on these calls, I'm not on a soapbox, like leaning down. We're just like chit-chatting. And so inviting people to do this with you. Like I said, people who are watching your stories and liking and commenting on your posts, they are asking for an invite. Like, if they're consistently liking your stuff and watching your stuff, they are asking for an invite. And I'm like, if you don't want an invite, scram. Like, eventually you'll quit watching my stuff, right? Like, I've got people who watch my stuff for 4 years and have never once replied to a message. But I'm like, social media is an active thing. You choose what you consume. You choose who you follow. If you are continuing to show up on my page, you're here for a reason. And so I'm just going to show you that I'm here, and the door's open whenever you're ready, whether that's a year from now, 6 years from now, like however long, the opportunity still stands. And then inviting those people who you built that relationship with. If you've had a good conversation with somebody new on your Instagram, you've talked and it just feels like the right time, send them a message too. It's never going to be that first invitation that gets them in the door, because if you look back at mine and your conversations, or the conversation you had with your new coach, Chelsea's laughing, she's like, yep. You can scroll back and see how many times we had interactions and conversations about my groups before you joined, and that's okay. It's the same for all of us, because that first invitation is like you planting the seed, and then you continue to water that seed when you interact with them, when they interact with you, and eventually, whether it's like a quick growing plant or a slow growing plant, whatever it is, it'll bloom eventually. But you have to put that initial invite out there. I do not recommend that you cold invite people. That's not what we're about. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I would love our team to be about. I don't just want to like find people on Instagram and be like, hey girl, no thanks. Because I hate getting those messages, right? If you are ever questioning like, oh, should I invite her? Be like, okay, well, if she invited me to something, how would I feel about it right now? The first invite, like I said, you always have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Like, oh, I don't want to send it, but I'm gonna send it, and then I'm just gonna like not look at my phone. But after that, it gets easier. And so inviting people to join about your challenge group, and then about coaching, and this is one that I like still don't do enough of. Inviting people to coaching, because when I look back on my journey, coaching is what has changed everything for me. These challenge groups are amazing. These programs have done so much for me. The nutrition programs have changed my relationship with food, but like this coaching community and this opportunity has really changed everything for me. And so actively showing that on your social media and then inviting to it, because you never know. I was the worst challenger in the entire world. I didn't comment on a single post in a group. I never showed up. I didn't reply to my coaching messages. And then one day I was like, hey, that coaching thing you post about, like, I kind of want to do it. And then I did it and didn't look back. And so like, right, you never know who's going to make a good coach, and it's not our job to judge or not. How am I trying to say this? It's not up to us whether or not they'll be interested. We just have to let them know that the opportunity is there. What they do with it is up to them. Same with the challenge group, right? So just always letting them know that that door is open. And then last one in this section, following up with people. The fortune is in the follow-up. And so if you've had somebody that's interested, whether you're keeping track on just like a pen and paper, whatever works for you, don't feel like you have to have some fancy system. Hey, I sent that girl that video a couple days ago. I'm going to check back with her and see what she thought, answer any questions she might have, just check in with her. Because sometimes people forget, people get busy, they've got lives going on, whatever it is. The little flag option on Instagram is amazing. Not a super reliable source all the time, but like if you're in a pinch, flag their name and then be like, hey, I'm going to go send some follow-ups. I'm going to check in with everybody's name that's flagged and see if they have questions, see if I can help them, whatever it might be. Again, go scroll back in mine and yours conversations and see how many times I followed up. Okay, getting people results is the third section. Contributing to your challenge group. If we want our challengers to show up in the groups and participate and post, we need to be modeling that behavior because we really set the tone for that. And so making sure you are posting in your challenge group, that you're sharing your progress. It doesn't have to be posting 10 times a day with all your thoughts and fears and hopes, but like sharing that you did your workout, sharing that you got your Shakeology in, sharing that you had a bad day but you showed up anyways, gives our challengers permission to show up like that. And so making sure that you are being the best example of what we want to attract. And so contributing to your challenge group, again, for our own accountability. Recognizing achievement. Maybe this is a box that I don't check off every day. I'm trying to, but definitely not an everyday thing. On Thursdays, when we have people rank advance, I'll try and shout people out. If I see somebody add a new coach to our team, I'll definitely shout them out. Or somebody got a team cycle bonus, I'll shout them out. Maybe you've got a challenger who's been showing up, rain or shine. Shout her out, especially in the group. Like that feels so good when somebody recognizes you for your hard work. Like you just get that like warm fuzzy feeling. You're like, yes, like somebody sees me showing up. It's amazing. So do that for somebody else. Maybe it's a coach on our team who's been crushing it. Who you're like, girl, I admire you. None of us are going to judge you or bite, right? Everybody, this is like the most supportive community ever. And so just kind of getting out of our own way, sending those compliments, putting that energy out there. And then finally, responding to questions from your customers and coaches. This is basically answering your messages, which can be super overwhelming. And honestly is at the bottom of the tracker for a reason, because if you are diving into your inbox first thing, you're answering all these messages you have, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I have no gas left in the tank, but you didn't actually do the things that matter, right? Or take care of yourself. This is one of my last things. If I'm going to sit down and do a power hour, I will I know it takes self-discipline to not look at the unread messages in your inbox. And sometimes that's why I'm so bad for replying to people, because I'm like, no, I can't look. I'm trying to stay focused and do what I'm doing. And then I will come back to those messages that are there, which is emptying out your DMs, emptying out your Facebook Messenger. And then if you don't have a million DMs, you're not a failure as a coach. I have a coach friend who's like, I've got 300 unread messages all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't I have that many unread messages? I feel like I'm failing, but it's like, no, I am just choosing to run my business differently. And then I was like, okay, maybe I do need to step it up a bit. Maybe I'm not having the conversations that I should be. And then I was just like, all right, I'm going to get more intentional about commenting on people's stories and commenting on posts and creating those conversations. And if your inbox is empty, I guess I took it as a sign that okay, I need to go out and do more work and do more connecting. So responding to questions, like I said, last thing, because I feel like it is very taxing and it can be exhausting. And so making sure that you've kind of taken care of yourself and done the business moving things before you dive into that. And then the fourth thing, which should really be the first thing, is engaging in personal development. We as leaders will only grow, our teams will only grow as much as we do. And so if you feel like you're not getting traction or not recruiting like you'd like to, or not getting the challenges that you want to, I want you to take a solid look at what your personal development has been like. And as a new coach, I think this is priority number one, because we're new to this all. And I feel like as a new coach, it could sometimes be very draining to think about, I'm just thinking back to my journey. I was like, oh my gosh, what's that girl from high school going to think of me? And what if my family judges me? And what if somebody asks me why I'm doing this in public and then I don't know? Your mind races because you're new at this. And so you have to build that confidence, build that resilience, and protect your own energy, protect your space. And so personal development is huge. Making sure that you're doing personal development to that is relative to you, because if you're just reading a book that everybody else is reading and it's not like speaking to your soul, it's not going to help you progress. I'm really trying to focus on leadership right now and becoming a better leader. And while everybody else is reading You Are a Badass, I'm like, no, I really need to hone into my leadership skills. If you need that hit of confidence, you're trying to build belief in yourself in this business, read You Are a Badass, read The Compound Effect. Personal development is so huge in everything. And when I feel like I'm taking a back seat, or my business is sliding, or I'm not making the progress I want, I'm like, okay, well, you checked off that personal development one time this week, so that's why you're like this, right? It's a direct correlation. And if reading's not your jam, like, don't stress. Podcasts are amazing. Audiobooks are amazing. Try and attach personal development to a habit you already have. That's a good way to, if you're trying to create a new habit, attach to a habit you already have. And so for me, I was trying to visualize constantly. I've read lots about visualization, and like lots of leaders and people I look up to in my life visualize constantly, but I could never make it stick. And then I was like, okay, attached to something I'm already doing. I shower every single day. So now I've attached my visualization to my shower. So when I get in the shower, like, I know I'm like, you're standing there anyways, you want to go visualize. And so when I get in the shower, now it's just automatic. It happens every day because I attach it to a habit I already have. So maybe for you, it's when we go back to work, your commute to work, or maybe it's taking a shower every day. You put on a podcast on your phone in the bathroom, or it's eating your breakfast, or when you're drinking your pre-workout. Like, what is that habit that you can attach PD to? And for me, like I said, when I do this journal exercise, it's like midday, because that's when I need it. That's when my mindset starts to slip. Same with PD. I'll do it first thing in the morning, but I'll also do it in the afternoon a lot of times, because I'm like, that's when I need that like mindset boost, that refresh, that like energy hit. And then it kind of helps me through the rest of my day. So really dive into personal development. I have a board on my Pinterest called Mindset, of a bunch of books I love, podcasts I love. You can search up like self-development books, podcasts. I can give you a screenshot of my podcast that I have too. It'll take you some time to figure out like what speaks to you, because I have a podcast called Women Wanting More, and she like drops an F-bomb every 3 words, and somebody else was like, this is the worst podcast I've ever listened to. And I'm like, preach, I love it so much. And so just finding out what speaks to you, and you'll find your groove eventually. It's like everything, right? It's like posting, it's like working out. The more you do it, the easier it'll get, and the better you'll feel at it. And so really diving into personal development. And then at the bottom, it just talks about your weekly business results. And I've heard the quote a lot, that if you are not tracking, you don't have a business. And I literally wasn't tracking this stuff till 2 weeks ago. And so here I am. But it's cool to look back on, like, okay, I did this tracker every damn day, and I grew by 20 followers, and I helped 3 new people. Like, just celebrating your achievement at the end of the week. Like, hey, I put in some serious hard work, and I actually got results. And you know what? Some weeks I get negative results, and that's okay. But just kind of using this as a benchmark of like, okay, I am here. I want to be here. But this week I was here, but it was because of this. Like, just that constant evaluating and pivoting where you need to. That was maybe mildly overwhelming, but I wanted to break it down so that next time you look at this, you're like, okay, I remember what she said about this. And I actually think I have a live video, it's probably very old, in the team page talking about this. I will upload this recording to YouTube. We also have a big group on Facebook where they host weekly power hours. I think they're 2 times a week, and they're recorded. And so if you want the link for that, I think I posted it in our team page. I'll look. You can just go back and follow along. They're all like an hour long, and then different coaches lead them. They'll say, we're going to do 5 minutes on this, 10 minutes on this, and they're really good, like guided action hours. If you only have an hour, just like turning that on, working, getting in, getting out kind of thing. And like I said, this is your benchmark to your business. How often you complete these, how much you do of it is up to you. Like it says, at least 5 people to inviting at least 5 people to coaching. Well, 5 people might be a baseline for you. For me, I'm trying to do like 20 and 30 because this is now my full-time job. And so I'm like, I need to be in proportion to that, right? And then is also, if you keep track of the people you're inviting here and in a book of like people you talk to, you can again look back at the end of the month and be like, all right, I invited 100 people and I helped 10. So you can kind of look at the benchmark of like, all right, so if next month I want to help 20 people, I'm going to send 200 invites, kind of like reverse engineering your goals. Do you have any questions about this? Any specific questions? Next time you work, you might have questions, which you can send me a message and I'll answer them. Okay, I think just always giving yourself a reminder of why you're showing up and why you're doing this, and that not every day is going to be easy. There are going to be days that you just want to like shred this tracker right up and throw your phone away, never come back to this. But if that underlying why is strong enough, it's going to keep you here for the long haul, because there have been days that you'll get 100 no's and days that it feels like nobody wants to join you and people quitting on you and it just feels like you're going backwards. But the idea for me of being able to do this full time and give back to my family and live an extraordinary life has kept me here for 4 years and will keep me here forever. Maybe for some of you guys, it's to stay home with your kids or to be able to give back to your family who's struggling, or like whatever it is. But find that why. It takes a little bit of time to uncover it and kind of see what's going on in your heart. Again, personal development. But find that why and what's that reason. And it doesn't matter how big it is, it doesn't matter what it looks like to anybody else. You don't have to tell anybody else. But if it matters to you and it makes your heart tick and it makes you smile or it makes you emotional, I want you to write, that's what that space is for. Write that down. Why am I showing up? What am I doing here? In your journal as well. You're here for a reason. I want you to take pride in that. You pursue this business for a reason. You're on this call for a reason. You're in this community for a reason. And you matter here, and we want to help you succeed in any way we can. And so that's why we've laid this out so simply for you. That's why I'm here for you anytime you need. We want to help you succeed. And I want you to believe in that reason of like, okay, I'm here. I'm showing up for a reason. I'm interested in this business for a reason. I'm going to be successful. Like, you have to be your own biggest cheerleader here, because it's like that idea of affirmations of, some days I tell myself I'm a 5-star coach and I'm not there yet, but I'm going to tell myself that every single day, because your mind believes whatever you tell it. And so if you're telling yourself, I'm not meant to be a coach, or this is too hard, or I shouldn't be here, then your mind's going to start believing that. So I want you to be your own biggest fan. And if you need me to help you be your biggest fan, I will be your biggest fan every dang day in your inbox, telling you what a rock star you are, telling you how much you matter, telling you how great your posts are. I will be there with you until you can start believing in yourself. And so every day I want you to remind yourself how amazing you are, and just what an epic coach you are, and what a team you are leading, whether it's just you or it's 10 people, you are a leader. So I want you to believe that. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think that's it. You guys are so quiet. Okay. Thank you guys for hopping on. I super appreciate it. Like I said, I'll host a new coach action hour next week where we like actually get to work, but that would have been literally impossible today. Now that we know that what this is about, we'll host a power hour and get you guys going. So thank you so much for hopping on, you guys. Have a good night.